How did you manage being locked up and having that strong mindset and being able to fulfill that, even though that whole, I don't say whole, but majority of that building, majority of that whole facility is all in negative time?
When I was in there, I realized early on that I'm never going to get this much free time. Like when you're out here, there's females partying, cell phones, distractions left and right. So I had the opportunity to get laser focused in there. I don't recommend anyone going to prison, but if you do, that's the perfect time to work on yourself because you don't got the distractions.
Yeah. For somebody who's watching and wants to start the paint company, what's some of the first equipment that you bought with that 30 grand? Well, probably not all of it, but that you started investing in. Because when I talk to individuals that come to me like, I want to start general contractor, main thing is I want to do clean outs and I want to do paint first. That's the first thing everybody says because they think I don't need that much money to start. It's just physical labor. But the thing that nobody knows how to do just getting started, how to bid jobs. So what's some advice you could say for people that want to start their paint company and want to bid for job $150 a room?
When I first started, I was cheap. Like now I have a whole operation that needs to get accounted for. So my pricing has to go up year after year because we're adding office manager that got to get accounted for.
More people get paid out of that number.
Yeah, everything has to get paid out of that number. I got 401k that I match with my guys. I got different insurances and workers' comp.
Full-blown Amazon company.
Also, long term, it's about the branding and relationship. Like brand yourself. That's the main thing. Like you don't want to be Jose in the truck. You want to be.
Yeah, I got my paint guy.
Yeah, my paint guy. No, you.
Yeah, that's what I do. Call the paint guy. Paint guy.
Yeah, you're an investor. Yeah, you're more of a GC. But Miss Sally, that got a row home, and her neighbors are asking about you.
Enhanced Property Solutions.
So they want to see that truck that got the logo on it. They want to see guys in uniforms. They want to see like a landing page on Google or something where they can see like your reviews or they can see your portfolio of work. Yeah, when I had that first $100,000 a month that I noticed, I might have had one before, but I never really checked the numbers crazy like that. I was like, damn, all right, so $100,000. If we average this every month, that's $1 million company.
1.2 right there.
Yep. So I'm like, all right, now it's a numbers game. What do I do if I want to do 200,000?
Yeah. Right. At what point do you think someone just getting started should they transition? And if yes, when should they transition to, okay, we don't just do paint. We also do maybe windows or maybe do some framing, or what do you suggest?
Make sure you're qualified to do it. Don't just do it because you got a bright idea. And if you're not qualified, bring someone in that's qualified. Or you learn from someone that's qualified to do it. This way you're doing it the proper way because you could lose a lot of money fucking shit up.
Yeah. Sometimes people transition to another lane before they even learn the lane. And they end up messing up the name that they made from the first lane trying to get into another lane. Now they lost both lanes. Welcome back to the Funded and Closed podcast, or welcome if this is your first time watching. This is a podcast that myself, Derek Boone, I put together to help individuals like you grow, learn, build, scale their real estate or business in general, from learning how to get started, from learning how to get funded, from learning how to scale, from learning how to do multiple things just from watching this. We bring on 6, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs that have a conversation that I honestly had with them all the time, but now we got a chance for you guys to watch this. The whole reason why I started this podcast is because I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, and then a lot of those higher tier podcasts, people are already making millions. They're already doing a lot of amazing things, and they just say, I took my millions and got started in real estate, or I took my millions from this job and I just went ahead and started this business. And for everyday individuals, that's not the case for them. So now it's like a brick wall where like, dang, they're not telling me how they got started because they already got started being up. So I want to bring on individuals that I know personally have started from the ground up, and they built things brick by brick by brick. And I want you to take these lessons, take these stories, and take the game, and you guys can go and start the same thing. So as you guys know, I'm always excited about every guest because every single guest is someone that I personally know, I personally done some business with, I personally connected with, I personally hung out with. So I know they're the real deal, and then we actually have a relationship. One thing I notice about a lot of people that have podcasts, they bring people in, they don't know from a can of paint, they just met them that first day or just talked to them an hour before that. So you notice the relationship or the chemistry is in there. Like every single person that's been on here, we talk, we build, we hung out, we done some business, made some money together. So that way our chemistry just shows on the episode. So like always, I'm excited. This is a guy that I want to introduce. that is doing some amazing things. I think he's an amazing individual. I met him, I don't know, like a year ago. Hasn't even been a year?
Like 8 months, maybe?
8 months. I met him like 8 months ago. But one thing I want y'all to understand, that my grandpop always told me, he said, it doesn't matter the time, and all about quality. Like I've met people that I've made so much money with and built strong relationships with in the last few years versus some people I knew my entire life. So it's all about the quality and not the quantity. Remember that. So this guy we met 8 months ago, I'm in the gym. And there's another little lesson for you guys. Always go to positive environments because you never know who you can meet. A lot of times people are like, yo, I'm not connecting with anybody. I'm not building anybody. I feel like I'm stuck. Yeah, because you just keep going to the bar. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the bar if you go there, but like you keep going to these local, corner bars. Like, I mean, how many people you think you really going to go in and meet? So we met at the gym where I met a lot of other positive individuals, and then we just kind of grew from there. So I want to introduce high level entrepreneur, great man, great person. I've seen him, do a lot of things in the last 8 months, and then watching the story, I've seen him do even more from 6 years or 7 years ago. So
6 years, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So my guy Frank Benton, right?
Benton, yeah.
Benton, my guy, what's up with you, bro?
Appreciate you. Thanks for the introduction, man.
That's all right. And then also he has a great podcast that I was able to be a guest on, Streets for Success. So Street to Success. So look, y'all, what's up, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm just grateful to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to come.
No, for sure, bro. For sure, bro. So what I want to talk about today is just like, one, I know you got this amazing 7-figure painting and construction company. I want to get into that. But before we get deep into that, I want to talk about like, your story, how you got started. I know you're not someone that like just came out the gate, just like winning everything. You went through some stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing about you, unlike other people, like you took that and overcame it. Some people just like stay in victim mode. You said, nah, like I'm going to win regardless. So let's touch on that.
Yeah. So it's funny to be in the opposite seats from last time when we were behind the microphone, right?
Yeah.
So I was asking you all the questions. But for me, I grew up in Philly, Kensington. My mom had 8 kids. I'm one of 8. The oldest boy, no father figure. So I had to do the streets young. Got money, hustling. Wasn't really good in school. I could be good in school, but I was just like wanting to have fun. I didn't really take it serious. Real quick, briefly, I got hit by a car when I was younger. I got a lawsuit when I was 18. Dropped out of school when I was 16. Figured 2 more years I'm about to run into some money. Use that money to invest back into the streets. It was like $18,000. That shit was going in the summer.
Dang.
So now I'm already like in the street. Like that's my resume. That's my background. So now I'm like, what that money did is all it did was enhance my ego, and then it built the wrong connections from what I was doing with the money. So now I'm fully into the streets. Everything, hustling, violence, all type of stuff. So fast forward a little bit, ended up catching a little case, got probation for it, and then I ended up getting shot. Dang. So yeah, figure like learn my lesson and whatnot. I didn't. It's just another like badge of honor when you're in that lifestyle. So now you can't tell me nothing. Now I'm getting feel invincible. Now I'm getting prescribed pills, selling the pills, doing the pills. So I kind of was really down like a bad path. I ended up getting arrested again. This was like a more serious charge. I got locked up for attempted murder. So now I'm in the county in CFCF, and I'm fighting this case, and I'm like, the light bulb's starting to go off a little bit, but I'll get more into that. I don't know. I had 2 aggravated assault and attempted murder, so I don't know what type of time I'm looking at. So I sat in CFCF for 2 years and fought the case.
Sidebar, this is like that bar thing, or that was a joke.
No.
Oh, that was when Lil was talking about it. It just reminded me of some Tommy Egan thing, and I'm like, oh no, you was serious.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So I'm at CFCF fight. And I'm sitting for 2 years, and I'm the whole time like, damn, like I got myself in this position. They're talking about 20 years, and
dang.
Yeah, so they offered me like a 10 to 20. I didn't take it. I go to trial. I end up losing, but she dropped the attempted murder charge. I got found guilty of the aggravated assault. 2 aggravated assaults. I got 5.5 to 11. I go upstate. So that's when the light bulb really went off. So I'm like, damn, how did I get in this position that I'm in?
I'm not invincible.
Well, I'm not invincible. No. And I'm like, how did I get in this position? now, a clear mind, sober mind, with a lot of time in front of me. It was like 3.5 years in front of me. So I'm thinking like, not exactly what I did necessarily. A lot of people think when they go to jail, like, what did I do to get here? How can I do that better? Or maybe I just won't do that. But I understood it was like the lifestyle I was living and the person that I became, not just like that one incident. There were so many things I probably got away with, that I could have went behind bars for, but this was the one thing. So it was like, all right, I created this person that I don't want to be. And if I come home and I want to be successful and I don't want to come back here, then I have to create a new person. So up there is when I started hitting the books. First book I read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. My man, Petey.
Like, that's everybody's
shout out to
book
Petey.
too.
So my man's on the streets and he's like, all right, he's sending me money. He's like, look, I want you to read this. I want you to read this. So he's sending me Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Bigger Pockets books. So now the light bulb is really going off. Another thing too, I didn't have my GED or no high school diploma when I went up there. I go into GED classes. I get my OSHA, all that stuff. And I realized like how much I didn't know. And when you think you know it all, right? Especially you're young, you think you know it all. I go up there, I'm like, damn, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. So now I just go on like this learning. Like, I want to learn everything now. I'm reading a dictionary for no reason. Like, just to like, all right, how do I use this word? I just want to become better overall. Yeah. Obviously, working out. So I'm doing schooling, reading, working out. And then the same thing, like, that's how I met Lil.
You're trying to walk this time down.
I'm trying to come home with my minimum and come out a better person. And that's when me and Jalil clicked, because he was on the same type time. Like, yeah, we ain't trying to come back here. Yeah. And then we just, dove into like the positive activities that they have up there. And that's like really when I started the game plan of what am I going to do when I come home. So you mentioned like, this contractor company, paint and renovation. I came up with that in 2017. And I have it still written with like a coffee stain on it from in there. Like, I still had that same paper I wrote out in 2017. Everything I needed to start, my marketing plan, as far as employees and basically get my license, insurances, everything I needed to do, material, equipment that I needed. So I wrote that all out, and I ended up getting released on my minimum in 2019. Yeah.
So I got a couple questions.
Yeah.
How did you manage being locked up and having that strong mindset and being able to fulfill that, even though that whole, I don't say whole, but majority of that building, majority of that whole facility is all in negative time? You know what? This time I could do it a little different. When I get out, I'm going to run the same play. I'm going to just switch it. I only got caught because of this or this, and this. But you like, look, I got caught. I ain't going back. I'm not doing that. How do you keep that mindset in there? Because I know a lot of people that come home and they like, I'm going right back, but I know I just don't make that left this time.
Yeah. So a lot of people up there, it's you're around men all day. Yeah. They're all a lot of egos. You're around COs. They talk to you however you want. It's a lot of negativity in there. So I kind of put myself in like a box to where like if I'm not positive or productive, I don't want to be around it. As soon as I'm around, I might talk some sports or some music or whatever, and I'm like, and I really catch myself like, I'm dipping out. Like, this is getting too much. Like, even when I'm playing chess, I'll play a couple games, but I'm burning like an hour out here. People were all circling around me. I'm like, all right, I gotta get out. I got like, that's where like, even to this day out here, like I got like a small social battery. Like I can't be around too many people for a long period of time because I just don't like wasting time. Like if we talking positive and we're kicking it and we're coming up, I can sit in the room all day and game plan and come up with like a business scheme. But if there's no real intentions or goals to the conversation, I just catch myself and I gotta dip. Yeah. And believe it or not, there is some positive people in there as well. There's some white collar criminals in there. There's some people that really might be innocent, and there's some people that like are on the same type. Might be a slight and small percentage, but there's some people on the same type of time that I was on.
So do you try to go ahead? Did you try to just stay? I know with Lil, did you try to just stay focused with those group of individuals, or like, look, I got my 1 or 2 guys, I'm gonna just stay with them?
Yeah, it was a couple people.
Okay.
I was cool with everyone though, because like I wasn't in the way. Yeah. So like I knew everyone that was on the block. I was on some blocks for a year, 2 years. So I knew everyone.
Yo, I know you're enjoying this episode. I know you're getting a lot of game and a lot of value, a lot of information. But is it okay for me to give you even more value? Is it okay for me to give you more information? So if you just said yes, what I want to do is I want to give you access to a free training that I'm having, 100% free. You can log in. If you don't like, you can log off. It's 100% free. In this training, I'm going to show you guys the 4 steps that I utilize to be able to buy properties, rent properties, make money on property. Like this building we're in right now is 100% mine. And we do that. And I have done that doing those 4 simple steps. So what I want you guys to do is go to fundedandclosed.com, just like the podcast, but fundedandclosed.com. And you're going to be able to register for the free training. Like I said, 100% free. And it's going to give you those 4 steps that I utilize to build my real estate empire. And you can do this exactly where you at right now. So look, we're going to get back to the episode. But before we go ahead and finish, press pause, go to that website, go ahead and RSVP for the training. And I'm going to see you soon. Let's get to it.
And, you know, they don't really mess with you if you're like, whatever you're looking for is up there. So if you're looking to hustle, it's up there. If you're looking for, you know, catch wreck, it's up there. Whatever you're looking for is up there.
Right.
So kind of the same people with the same mindset kind of stick together. But it's crazy because a lot of white people stick with all white people. A lot of black people stick with all black people, especially if you're from the same city or the same neighborhood. All the poppies stick together. They ride out for each other. The poppies stick together, like more than anything.
For sure.
So I was just like, I'm cool with black people. I'm cool with the poppies. I didn't really click with the white people because a lot of white people in there are in the way.
Right.
Like, yeah, they're like, you got a couple, you probably got a handful, but 90% of them are getting high or they don't got their shit together. Like they're on the same type time, like still trying to hustle in there. I'm like, I'm cool with all that. Just because you got the same skin color as me doesn't mean that like I'm going to click and vibe with you.
That's interesting. That's interesting. You know, what I see from you and hearing that conversation, you were like, I don't really care, this is how everybody should be, but even more like, I don't really care who you are. Like, what are you talking about? That's the only thing I'm worried about. I don't really care about the race thing, which nobody should be worried about anyway, but I really don't care about what are you on? If that ain't what I'm on, then I'm moving wherever that room is, wherever that group is on what I'm on.
Yeah, for instance, you do it out here, right? Like, it's not the shell. Like, you don't care what somebody's wearing. You don't care what the skin color. It's like, what's up here? Like, you know, how can we connect on an intellectual level or like even a personal level where it's going to be beneficial for both of us?
You know, it's funny, right? I only had this conversation with a couple people, but people always ask me, why I don't move to Atlanta? So I got some other personal reasons why I moved to Atlanta, but I'm
going to Atlanta next week too, by the way.
You are?
If you want to go, come on.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll put the dates in. I go down there once a month, but they like, yo, why don't you just live down here? So I got some other personal reasons, but one other reason why I would never like, I don't say never, but would never like fully stay there 24/7, go there and maybe get a spot and go there from time to time is because, and a lot of people probably get mad about this, but I feel like Atlanta is too like clicked. Like this, when I go down there, I'm around a lot of successful people and we click and we bind and we vibe, but it's just like black wealth dinner, which is great, which is amazing. But I like going there in Florida or like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, that area, because it's like a melting pot. I can literally be sitting right here and to the right, a black billionaire, to the left, a white billionaire, 2 seats over, an Indian billionaire. Like, but something about Florida where it's a rainbow and everybody cool. Because I feel like we can get game from every single person. When I'm down in Atlanta, I don't even know if there's any other races down there. When I go down there, it's literally just all black. But then when I go to Miami, I'm seeing different races, but I'm learning. When I go to Miami, I got all different types of race of friends, and they all get into it, and they all giving out games. So that's my personal reason, kind of like what you said. I want to blend with everybody. Whoever can give some plays and I can give some stuff back, let's connect. I don't care if you 80, I don't care if you 19, I don't care if you black, I don't care if you green. Yeah. I don't care, like, I don't care what you are. As long as we can exchange some game, I'm with that.
Yeah, diversity, right? Like, you can learn something from everyone, and if everyone's on the same time, like, you can only learn so much from that crowd.
Exactly. exactly. And then I don't even get that. We'd be staying on that all day long. But I think what you saying is dope. How you took the being locked up and just kind of, okay, how can I make use of this time?
Yeah.
How can I really try to capitalize off of this and not just fall victim of the bullshit that's going on by the other 80-90% of people? Let me focus on the 10%, the people I can connect with and build. So 2017, you wrote together your plan. It's funny because when I talked to a lot of people, I feel like 2017 was a year for a lot of people. For me, 2017 was that year. For a lot of individuals, 2017 was that year. So then 2019, you was released. Yeah. And what was that transition? Did you get started that next day out or like? Yeah,
it was tough when I first got released. So to touch on what you said about being in there and coming up with the plan, like when I was in there, I realized early on that I'm never going to get this much free time. Like when you're out here, there's females, partying, cell phones, distractions left and right. So I had the opportunity to get laser focused in there. I don't recommend anyone going to prison, but if you do, that's the perfect time to work on yourself because you don't got the distractions.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming home so I had like 4 people tell me my whole thing was I need to work off the rip. I can't go back to and I had people tempt me too when I came home to get back. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not going that route. I'm cool. So and close people too. Their intentions weren't bad, but that's all they know. So so I had like 3 friends that say they're gonna get me a job, like a roofers union, Jack and Jill, Pepsi, a laborers union. No one came through. It was crazy because like they promised me and they just weren't hiring. The jobs that they were working at weren't hiring.
It's not that they couldn't and they didn't want to. It just wasn't clicking.
Yeah, well, it wasn't there. So I looked on Craigslist and found a couple jobs on Craigslist as like a painter and a one was a paint job, one was like a helper, like moving some stuff, and then my buddy got me like a moving job. And then another friend, hey, my guy needs a demo guy to come in for a day. I'm doing whatever for work.
I respect it.
When I came home, I had some money saved from when I was in there. I was locked up for 5 years. I was putting $25 away. People would send me a bean. I'm putting 50 away. Like so, I came home with a couple grand.
Bro,
I wanted to add to that.
You different. You different.
I had to start in there. I had to develop the habits in there.
You different.
People coming with the big commissary bag. I'm cool with what I need for the week. But I was like $25 here. Somebody sending me $50. I'm like, all right, I need 25 for commissary, 25 to go away. Now I'm going to add this, over 52 weeks in the year. That's going to be this much. So I came home with a couple grand, but I didn't want to touch it. I was like, that's for the business or that's for real estate. Whatever one pops first. So I'm working, here and there. I ended up getting a job full-time painting at this painting company, Pen Painting. This is a smaller company. I was making $100 a day, but it was like, all right, he needs someone for a long term. It's not just like come in and I'll call you back when I need you. He's looking for a full-time employee. So I'm like, I'll take the opportunity, $500 a week. Work on the weekends, I get $150. So I'm like, I'm going to save all the $500 I get, I'm going to save. So now I'm getting the weekend money, that's $150, and I'm starting to deliver on the side, like at nighttime and on Sundays. So now I'm making like another $600 from that. So I'm making like $1,200 a week. So that $500 plus the Saturday if I work, that's all going up for the first year. That went up. So that's how I saved up enough money to start the business. And I was disciplined on that. I was like, I'm not touching this. If I need money, I got to go pick up an extra shift or something, but I'm not touching this $500. So that built up to like 30 G's. That's how you get into the game. You ain't going to get you got to be disciplined enough to save your money when it's coming in. And everyone's like, you got to either work harder or spend less. It's just, you got to make the sacrifice.
I respect that 100%. When I first got started in like real estate sales, in 2017, I was closing a lot of deals, but I didn't quit my job out the gate. So my job, I was making like at net after taxes, I was getting like $700 every 2 weeks, 720. It was a funny number like that. But I was closing deals. You know how disciplined you are to still live off the $700 and something dollars, but then you getting a couple thousand coming in from deals and be like, yo, I'm gonna just stack this. Because this is what I promised myself. I said, I'm gonna give this 3 to 4 seasons. If I can get this 3 to 4 seasons and I still make money, this is for me. Because you know how some people say like, oh, they did good the springtime, fall and winter it went down. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead because I got licensed as I started out the real estate. I got licensed March 2017. I said, you know what? I'm gonna finish out this season. I'm gonna go through the next couple seasons. If I can still make money through all these different seasons, I'm gonna quit. So I quit. I had a lump sum of money because I still lived in the same crib. But after that first year, and I'm like, all right, this is it. That's when I started. Okay, let me move into a different apartment, a different environment.
When you started making more money, you didn't live outside your means still.
I still stayed in the same. I still stayed down north. Still the same everything.
You're living off of that same budget. I created a budget for myself, and I'm like, I'm not going to break this budget.
That's smart.
So people, when they start making some money, they break out the budget.
They go up.
They start spending expenses. They want to show that they're making more money instead of using that money. All money is really, is all it is a tool. Yeah,
all it is a tool.
Yeah, all it is a tool. So I was just, I stayed down with that. So the pandemic ended up hitting, and the store I was delivering for closed. This is how I fall into business. The goal was to get into real estate at first. Okay. The business plan was, after I developed enough skill, I felt like of that trade, specifically painting, So the pandemic happened, the store closed. I'm like, I need to recoup this money that I'm making every week, and I didn't want to deliver none. I threw it out there like I'm just going to start doing side jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my boss was really cool at the time. He kind of knew I was doing it like on the weekends because I stopped coming in on the weekends for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm gonna just do this on the weekends. But now I'm going and I'm making $800, $1,000. I'm making my whole paycheck and
You
more.
like, hold up.
It's just
Hold
outweighed
up.
it. So like I'm gonna start a little business and put it out there, get it insured and all that. I started the business and
Did you call it the company name now back then?
yeah,
Or?
so enhanced property appearance. Yeah, when
Okay.
I first started, that's what it was. So the name just speaks for itself. Enhanced property appearance. We enhance the appearance of your property. So I knew like eventually it was going to be more than painting, but that's all the skill sets that I had at the time. And I was like, as I grow,
Because you was the one doing everything.
Yeah, I'll acquire. I'll acquire the talent I need once the opportunity comes, which it ended up did coming. But so I ended up like it just outweighed. I'm working for him, and I'm sending my boys that are still working here to this day to go and do jobs because I can't get to it because I'm loyal to him.
Yeah.
So I had to put my 2 weeks in, and I told him like, look, I started a business, and it's just I got these guys doing it for me, but now I feel like I'm doing them a disservice by not being there to support them, and I'm also doing you a disservice because I'm not giving you my full attention because my brain's over there right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put my 2 weeks in, he's like, "Can you stay for 3? We had like a big job going on." I was like, I'll stay for 3 weeks and then, bring people. I'll start training them for a little bit what I know. So I left on a
That's respect.
We're like this. That's my man. Like he's up in like Bucks County.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good guy. But he taught me everything I knew about painting. I want to know what I know. I wouldn't have been in business if it wasn't for him. So I rocked out with him for the rest of the 3 weeks, and then I dove into doing my business full time.
So you had saved up. Let me go backtrack a little bit. So you saved up 30 grand from just stacking up the 500.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that a lot of people have an extra $200-$300. Believe it or not, when you start cutting down, yo, bro, I brought my lunch. I've been doing on this lunch thing for like the last week or two because I was spending $30. You know,
Do the math.
Yeah, like $30 a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week. Because I eat food in the house and I eat dinner in the house. $30, 5, 6, 7 days a week. I'm like, hold up, this is a couple hundred. Like, and it's not that I can't go ahead and do it. You just start thinking like, wait a minute, this is just spending just to spend. And most of the time, I mean the same thing. I'm going to the same low lunch spot, going to the same food truck. I'm like, it's not even making sense. So I say all to say, a lot of people can save money when they say they can't. So
they don't want to cut out the vape. They don't want to cut out the weekend party. And they don't want to stop getting their nails done or their lashes done. You got to sacrifice a little bit to get ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
and then people, and you look at it, and this is also what I do. I look at it like, okay, the people that are on another level than me don't mind doing it. Why the hell I got a problem doing it? Like, I see that I met this guy, his name is Mike McCann. You probably know him. The real estate guy. And I said, let's go to lunch. He said, no, let's meet at my office. I pack lunch. Yeah. Cause I was like, let's go lunch, have a little meet, let's just talk. And we did do the meet, and he just said, no, I pack my lunch. Yeah. I was just like, okay. You start catching little things. Like, he said, no, I'm not going out and buying money. I pack lunch. He can do it for sure. It's just, but you start thinking like, dang, if they doing it, then why the hell I can't do it? And then little other things like that. So you stacked up the money and then you took that money. What was the first? So for somebody who's watching and wants to start the paint company, what's some of the first equipment that you bought with that 30 grand? Well, probably not all of it, but that you started investing in.
So obviously a van. I got a van.
Mm-hmm.
While I was working for that company I was working for, I got a little truck, a little Ford Explorer pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the van and then the pickup truck. Then I got a paint sprayer. Then you start getting your ladders. And whatever trade you're in specifically, like the essentials to start off, right? Like what are the tools that you look around and see every day, whether you're working for someone else or whether you're doing side jobs and I need to grab this. You should have a list of things you need.
Yeah.
But for me, drop cloths, paint buckets, ladders, whatever your trade is, though, you would know.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you need the van and the truck out the gate, or like can you just run it out of your Chevy Impala?
Before I had the van, I was running jobs. That's how I knew I was capable of starting my own business because I was running jobs for him, and I only had what was the car when I came home? A Hyundai.
Elantra.
No,
Sonata.
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Yeah, I had a Hyundai Santa Fe with a hatch, and I was just putting 4-foot ladders in there It had a little bike rack, but I'll still put a ladder on top of there if I had to. You gotta make it work.
Yeah,
You're
hell
not too
yeah.
cool. Like, you gotta start with what you got.
Yeah.
But I had I was lucky enough to bring the 2 people that was doing the work for me on, give them full-time employment, and I needed, like, they're going to be using this. I got to use this to get around.
That's good. That's good. So, Nell, I wanna ask you about mapping out the job. So you just getting started, right? And you bought your drop cloths, you bought your sprayer, you bought your equipment. Now, another thing. You know how you can go to Home Depot and rent the sprayers. Do you advise people just getting started out to rent for the sprayers for your job, or you need to go out and get one out the gate?
You can get a good one for cheap, like $300.
Okay.
I think you bake it into your cost when you're giving an estimate or a bid, and you could go that way. If you rent it might be like a bean anyway. So maybe for your first one, turn it over, but then the next one,
don't keep doing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a waste of money. After 3 times, you could have bought one.
You could have just bought one. That makes sense. How do you bid for room? So I know a lot of people that because when I talk to individuals that come to me like, I want to start general contractor, main thing is I want to do clean outs and I want to do paint first. That's the first thing everybody says because they think I don't need that much money to start. It's just physical labor. But the thing that nobody knows how to do just getting started, how to bid jobs. So what's some advice you could say for people that want to start their paint company and want to bid for job, $150 a room, $200? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, so when I first started, I was cheap. Like, now I have a whole operation that needs to get accounted for. So my pricing has to go up year after year because we're adding office manager that got to get accounted for.
More people get paid out of that number.
Yeah, everything has to get paid out of that number. I got 401k that I match with my guys. I got different insurances and workers' comp.
Full-blown Amazon company.
We're working on healthcare now. That's a goal for this year.
I love that, man.
We'll take care of my people.
I love that.
So for someone that don't know, and if it's just you, it's like, what do you value yourself out for that day? And me, I was doing stuff for cheaper to get my name out there and build a relationship. So I was taking less money than I probably would.
Just to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, so if it's like a real estate agent that's dealing managing properties, or they got a bunch of clients that always need you, yeah, you might want to hook them up or do that one on the lookout for them if it's their personal house, so they can get your name out there. You do a good job, that one person can open 10 more doors for you. But as far as pricing goes, it's like, all right, you got to get your material list together, right? So your material will be, say, $100 for that room. If you're paying someone to help you, say another $100, you're at $200. What do you want to make for that day? So it's going to take me a day to do this. I got my helper. I got my material. Because you're not worried. When you first started, you're not worried about overhead, marketing budget, nothing like that. You're just like, you got to get through the day. So you be around 500. I want to make 300. I was making 150 where I was at. I want to make double for it because I'm doing more work that isn't attached to that job too. I got to go run and get the estimates. I got to go get the material. I got to type up an email at the end of the day or whatever it is. You're doing more work, so you pay yourself a little bit more. But whatever you're comfortable with, it's not all about the money in the beginning. I would say for me, I was happy with making what I made at my job a day. And then whatever else like I did make, I will put up to invest back into the company. But also long term, it's about the brand and the relationship. Like, brand yourself. That's the main thing. Like, you don't want to be Jose in the truck. You want to be...
Yeah, I got my paint guy.
Yeah, my paint guy. No, you.
Yeah, that's what I do. Call the paint guy.
Yeah, you're an investor.
Yeah,
you're more of a GC. But Miss Sally, that got a row home, and her neighbors are asking about
enhanced property solutions. Like,
yep. So they want to see that truck that got the logo on it. They want to see guys in uniforms. They want to see like a landing page on Google or something where they can see like your reviews, or they can see your portfolio of work. So I would just get as legitimate as possible, quick. And that could be like, first steps could be a company name, LLC, and a logo. Start doing your like brand identity, like creating who you are, like as a brand. And that's going to help with your pricing too.
You just said something. I got a sidebar question. Do you think that, you said Miss Sally or whatever, right? Do you think branding yourself and coming up professional as you possibly can help? You got tattoos and stuff like that. Do you think that help? Because there's a lot of people that, watch this, they probably got more tattoos than you. Do you think that for them is good? Like, I got tattoos, but I got a lot of this stuff after I'm already got situated. So
yeah. So I think for me, that was
like just getting started. Like, you
just
brand
getting
new.
started. That was the main thing on my mind. Mind you, I'm still on parole. I have felonies.
Your stuff gotta be clean.
I have to be my estimates have to be detail oriented. They have to know exactly what they're getting. Proposal has to be on point. Yeah, I'm clean cut. I'm company shirt. I'm coming with a tablet. It's like, oh, this guy got a $300 tablet. He ain't trying to get over him. He's like, come in here and steal nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like I really had to like showcase my professionalism early on because I feel like I was already in a deficit of even being in my own head. Maybe I'm just thinking that tattoos, felon. But I was like, if I just showcase myself, my knowledge, and then how professional I am, that won me a lot of jobs, I think.
Now, what's one thing that you could say to people that may have a whole bunch of tattoos or may have felonies or just inside their own head? Like, what could you say to them? Like, yo, like, bro, you're good enough for this job.
I feel like if you're living life the right way and you don't got to look over your shoulder and you're just being honest and you're really not up to nothing, then just be you. Just be you. Open communication. Like, I'm not going to go in there and say I'm a felon, but I had customers now, especially now because I'm more out there on social media. Hey, I seen your stuff on, like, that's why I hired you. I like your story.
That's dope.
It's crazy. Like, she's like, I watched your whole YouTube video. It was like, I was on a big podcast in Connecticut. He got like crazy following. It's called Locked In. She's like, I watched your whole episode. That's the reason I went with you.
That's love. Yeah. That's love. So, you said you'll basically map out how much was worth for you for the room and then go from there. Now, let me ask you this this might get a little more detailed. What happens when people are like, okay, I don't want you just to paint the room just regular one color, but also I want you to do some patch jobs. Like, let's say a hole in, nothing too crazy where we need like a big contractor, but hey, look, it was a hole in the wall from the door now. We need some patches over there. We need, it was a leak in the ceiling. We need to fix that. Like, how do you guys start managing that type of bid?
So when you go into it, it's always going to be a scope of work. There's always going to be things that the customer wants addressed. It might not just be painting, like you're saying. It might be a water stain over here. It might be a piece of trim popped off right here. Could be caulking around the bathtub. So we go in. When I go in there, I just get a detailed scope of work. Like, what exactly are you looking for? Because I see people are so eager to get the job. They're like, hey, whatever you need me to do, whatever you need to do.
And they short this off.
Everything's a line item. So I'm like, yeah, I could do it, caulk that. Well, that's another 20 minutes that someone's in there caulking. That's another hour that someone's dealing with this patch. So it's like at the end of the day, they have to pay for your time, whether it's you or your guys. They got to pay for the time. They got to pay for the material. So like, just get a detailed scope of work, see exactly what the customer wants, and just everything is an add-on. Everything is a line item, itemized list.
Now, I'm pretty sure you have, because this is cost of doing business. How do you handle when you send in your bid, your quote to not the contractor, to the customer, and they're like, no, this is too high. Yeah. Like, how do you, because somebody watching that maybe feel discouraged. Like, how do you manage that when you send it? Look, I really gave you, I know I didn't overcharge you. I gave you something that's worth my time, and I know it's a clean budget. How do you handle that when somebody say no? Or like, I don't want this too high?
I would say it depends if it's a job I don't even want. Like, I could tell that they're going to be, if they're starting to picking about money from the gate, I might not even want the job. It might be someone that's really on a fixed income though that I really want to help. So that might be a different case. Like, they just can't afford it. All right, well, what can I do to help bring this cost down? Take a couple items off. Yeah, take a couple items off. Or if you pay with, I automatically include the credit card and bank transfer fee in there, because 9 times out of 10 people are paying online. So, but when you do a process, the processor takes 3%. So I could reduce that for you if you pay with check or cash. We could put you on financing if you want. If you think it's too much money right now, you can pay. You could pay $5,000 an hour. You could pay $300 a month. So try to give them different options and stuff. And if I really can come down, like, all right, can I sacrifice $200? Is that going to help them? Is it not going to hurt us? I'll do it too. Just because I'm there to help. Honestly, I want to get them a desired result, but I also need to turn profit and make sure we don't lose and do nothing for free. Which we do stuff for free too. We do get back on all.
That's dope. Now, couple more questions. I like 3 more questions.
Yeah.
One, I'm interested too. My damn self.
Yeah.
At what point did you think over your career was that like, okay, this is what led us to being a 7-figure company? Like, what was that peak? Because after a while you're just doing jobs. Like, even for me, we're doing real estate. I'm just doing single family houses. But then when I got in that multi-family house, and then I got my first 6-figure check, it was like, okay, this is what really started moving around. And then when I started, when I started utilizing online systems to find my property instead of riding around the streets looking for deals, that's when it really. So what was that thing for y'all?
So it's funny you said. I think it was like 2 years ago. I never really could track the money like that because I was so busy running around. It was before I had an office manager. So I was answering the phone calls. Every customer, as far as scheduling, all the customers' questions, follow-ups. I'm blessed right now and grateful I have the office staff that I do because I'm able to really, but that really got me when they came in, I hired Megan in the office. I stepped back and I'm like, all right, let me start seeing where some of this is going. I know where money's coming in every month. Some slips through the cracks. Some I'm not able to like, where did this go? What's this for? And then it was when we did our first $100,000 a month.
That's dope.
So I'm like, all right. So if I, it's a
numbers y'all
game.
Watching this, you can make $100,000 a month from starting a painting company. Because a lot of people might hear that and be like, what? Like you, and I don't want to cut you off, but yo.
Make $250,000.
Yeah, but the one thing I want people to understand is in real estate, it's not always just about houses. You can make money all around the ecosystem of real estate because some people get in here and they like, yo, I have to do buy and holds. Like you're going to need some type of funding. You're going to need some type of money. You're going to need resources. You're going to need lenders. You're going to need contractors. But if you're just getting started and you like, hey, I'm short on a lot of those resources, you can get in maybe painter, maybe as a contractor, maybe as a broker. Like you could figure out where else you can make money and then take that money like what you did and then start doubling down on the houses.
Yeah.
I start out, as an agent, just make a percentage of other people. Then I got into my stuff.
I see people that are in the mortgage world that get into real estate. I see people that are title companies. Contractors is obviously one of, and real estate agents are heavily. So
then you transition.
It was easy for me, and we'll get into that. It was easy for me to get into real estate because I already did my research on it, and I'm already in houses and know what has to go on every single day.
Exactly.
But when I had that first $100,000 a month that I noticed, I might have had one before, but I never really checked the numbers crazy like that. I was like, damn, all right, so $100,000. If we average this every month, that's $1 million company.
1.2 right there.
Yep. So I'm like, all right, now it's a numbers game. What do I do if I want to do 200,000? All right, I need 2 more crews or 3, whatever the number is, right?
What we did that got to the 100, how can we double
this
it?
many leads in a week needs to turn into this many leads a week now. So we need to do, if you have a closing rate of 50%, so you need to double your leads coming output, in. Yeah. So it's all a numbers game. Like one thing about business, it's all numbers and people. That's it. If you understand people, you can work well with people, and you understand numbers and you can work well with numbers, you'll be successful. You're going to run into the same headaches that everyone else run into. But at the end of the day, there are 2 key components: people and numbers.
That's good. That's really good. That's really good. So the next question I have is, I know you guys do more than just painting now. You guys, really enhance property solutions. Yeah. You guys, at what point do you think someone just getting started should they transition? And if yes, when should they transition to, okay, we don't just do paint. We also do maybe windows or maybe do some framing, or what do you suggest?
So what I would do is, say if you just do flooring, you're just or a tile guy.
Yeah.
What is like close enough to that trade that it's easier for you to transition to rather than, I'm doing tile now, I'm going to do a roof.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah,
so say if you're doing tile, like, all right, what's next? Probably if you're doing wall tile, you're probably doing floor tile. Maybe you might start doing floor and hardwood now. So for us, it was, all right, painting. I knew how to do painting. Then I'm like, all right, drywall. Like you're working on the walls anyway. All right, so now it's some drywall repair, stuff like that. Now it's wallpaper. Now it's, now people want to do crown molding and trim.
People still be getting a lot of wallpaper?
Bro, I'm crushing it with wallpaper right now. Yeah. You go out the main line or you go like,
Damn, yep. I don't even see that stuff.
And
well, that's just me.
Do you know what it is with wallpaper? And this is a side conversation. It's a lot of like powder rooms, a lot of accent walls.
Yeah. The powder room. Yeah. Hey, so I know you're enjoying the episode so far, and you're probably hearing some of the plays, but you might be like, my credit isn't there. I don't have the best credit. I may not be able to run some of the plays they're saying. So what I want to do is I want to give you an opportunity for free credit repair. I said it, 100% free credit repair. I'm going to drop the website below, where you can go ahead and get your credit repaired for free. All you have to do is have the credit monitoring software, so that way you can pull your reports and this will be fixed for free. All you have to do is go to nochargecreditrepair.com. It is 100% free. All you have to do is have the credit monitoring software, so you can actually pull the report and actually see what the score is on all 3 bureaus. And then this system is going to fix your credit for free. So again, nochargecreditrepair.com, and you guys can get access to that. Look, there is no reason why you can't win. This is the link for you to get your credit repair. You're watching a podcast episode where we're showing you how to make money, how to get funded. There's no reason why you can't win. So go ahead and click the link, pause this episode, go ahead and sign up, and then get back to the episode and keep learning, keep winning, keep growing. Let's get it.
And I actually like wallpaper too, because it's not like for something you want something to pop. A color will pop a wallpaper. It's going to catch someone's attention.
Yeah,
so a lot of people are doing it. Yeah, texture. You get vibrant colors. So a lot of people are doing it in powder rooms because that's where the guests are coming in. They're walking out like, oh, they're complimenting them on it.
That's dope. I ain't think I might do that in one of my houses.
Let me know.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but try to be in like, so if you're doing carpentry, what's next? Like, all right, now I'm doing doors, doing windows, hanging cabinets, and just go off of that and just make sure you're qualified to do it. Don't just do it because you got a bright idea.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not qualified, bring someone in that's qualified, or you learn from someone that's qualified to do it. This way you're doing it the proper way, because you could lose a lot of money fucking shit up.
Yeah. I think that's
just
important.
Trying to grab the money. I
think that's important. Sometimes people transition to another lane before they even learn the lane, and they end up messing up the name that they made from the first lane trying to get into another lane. Yeah. Now they lost both lanes. Yeah,
not only that, then you lose your confidence too.
That's
God, maybe this ain't for me.
Yeah.
No, it's for you. Just stay the course.
Stay right there. Yeah. So now, and I'm putting together like a little timeline for you guys too. Yeah. So now you guys, and I'm talking to somebody that's watching, you guys started a paint company. You learned how to go ahead and, bid on jobs. Then you started buying more equipment. Then you started doing some extra things with jobs. Now you're at this point where we're making 6 figures, even if not 6 figures a month, 6 figures a year. Okay, I got, $50,000 put to the side, $30,000 put to the side, or maybe even $100,000 put to the side. Okay, now it's time for me to transition into what my long-term wealth goal is, which is, the real estate and stuff.
Yep.
Now, how did you make that? What was the first house you got? Like, how did you make that transition?
So my first house, it's crazy because I was renting off my boy. He moved to Jersey. He had a spot in Fishtown. So he moved over to New Jersey, and he's like, yo, I'm renting my house out. Mind you, I don't have no proof of income yet.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pass a background check. I'm not even getting pay stubs at my old job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is going to be my only opportunity to have my own house. I had a roommate before, so I'm like, I need to just take the sleep.
I need to take it.
Get in there, yeah. But it was $1,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to paying $800 a month as a roommate to now doubling to $15 with bills. I'm like, that's a big jump. And I just started a business too.
Did you think about it first, or you just did it?
I thought long and hard about it. First off, because I don't like spending money. Because I'm trying to save. I'm trying to save everything I got right now. But I was like, I'm not going to have this opportunity again until I'm ready to buy.
Get my own spot.
Exactly, to get my own spot. And so I was there for like a year. Mind you, when I came home, I started building my credit off the rip. Like, first thing
I like you, man. I like you.
First thing I did when I came home, I got my driver's license back. I started a bank account, and I got a secure credit card.
I like you. You go smart, man.
So a secure credit card, those who are listening, like, you have to put the $200 out.
Yeah, that was my first credit card, $300 secure card.
Yeah, but you need it though. It's essential.
I turned that card into a $30,000 card.
Yeah, mine's up to 20 something right now. It's the same credit card, but they give you your money back. They enhance it to $1,000, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily today I'm blessed. I got like a 760 credit score.
That's dope.
But I'm building my credit. I'm saving my money, and now, mind you, I never had a pay stub, so I started my business. I wanted to buy a house for myself. That was my first property. So I'm like, all right, let me see what I have to do. I talked to some agents. I talked to some lenders. They're like, we need proof of income. So mind you, I was working under the table when I first came home, and I had the business for like a year now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, my accountant and all, they're telling me, like, you have to claim them that year that you came home.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't get pay stubs, like, you got to pay on that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I had to bite the bullet, pay taxes for the year I came home. I paid the penalty for not paying, and then I had to pay taxes for that year.
That shit
so
is
now
annoying.
I
shit is annoying.
I had 2 years of proof of income. Now I'm in the game. Your first property, you're in the game. Even if it's your own property.
First one. Yo, if y'all watching, do whatever you need to do to get that first one, because it's easier. I got this lender. I think I might have gave you a phone number. If I didn't, I'll give you their phone number.
Yeah.
But this lender I work with, we continuously work with. I had to get an interview with them. I had to show them tech. I had to show them all my documents. Now, if I call on Monday, they'll wire the money by Friday. They not even asking for nothing from me besides the information on the house. But like you said, bite the bullet on your first one. Do what you need to do, because it's gonna be easy after the fact.
Yeah. So that's how I got my first personal property.
Mm-hmm.
My second property was
So that one you lived on, you straight invested that one?
No, I moved into.
Okay,
I moved into. That was my first property. But that I had to go through the motion of learning even how to acquire a property and deal with a lender.
Mm-hmm.
So bank statements, what my credit score needs to be, proof of income as far as tax documents and all. So I ended up, my second property was for my company. So I was like, all right, I'm straight. Now my company needs a home, which you were there at the building.
I like you, man.
That was, so that was
people don't be thinking like that.
Well, it's even crazier because I'm about that. So I started another LLC to buy this property with. So Enhanced Property Acquisitions. So so now I
don't know what books you was reading in there, but you know some stuff.
So I acquired the property, and now I'm renting it out to Enhanced Property Appearance. So now I got another proof of income. But we had to fix the building up, put money into it, and the new studio's done. If you want to check it out too, in the back.
Oh yeah.
So it's it's street to street in a nice neighborhood, front office, courtyard, garages, and then now we just converted the upstairs into a studio for the podcast. And
so it's not gonna be where we was at before.
Yeah, no, it's in the same. You didn't even check out the back of there's a whole back of the building with the garages and stuff. It's on the top. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
That was my second property. And now, like, all right, I'm getting I took care of home first, right? Myself, my business, and we have a place to run our operation out of. Now I'm not going to say selfish, but now I can be a little bit more like, all right, now I need to take care of myself, my future.
Yeah.
That's when I did my first investment property, was a flip.
Okay.
And it was in Fishtown. We had a partner on it. And it went pretty good. I learned a lot because, mind you, we gutted everything, added an addition on it. Not technically, but
we all do that.
He was just extending the kitchen out, but I was used to like cosmetic stuff, cabinets, flooring.
Different.
We did everything like cosmetically, but when you're doing addition, roof, new MEPs, everything brand new.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience. So I made out good. Of course everyone wants to make more, but I was getting paid to learn the whole time.
Yeah. That's how you gotta look at it. Yeah, I got paid to learn. I did a learn and earn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. Mind you, still got my main source of income coming in, so it's not crippling me at all. I'm pouring into it and then banking on getting out and making something, which I did. And then, so on, it was like another one, then a duplex, and then just continue to go. I just got another one, looking for a 5-plex right now that I'm looking at. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So transition, do you think getting into that cash flowing business first and then getting into real estate was a good move for you?
Yeah, definitely. Not only just because like the money, but because of being in that realm of real estate and fixing houses. So yeah, it was definitely good. But yeah, I still would have gotten into real estate regardless. Like that was the whole goal. Like I read a lot of real estate books when I was locked up. And
you read some good ones because you came out doing the right stuff. So you read some good ones. Now, just a personal question: do you like the flips or do you like the holds better?
So I'm doing my first hold now, refinancing on it. So we're going to see with that. I feel like the flips are.
Make sure you don't pull too much money out of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to cripple myself.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Just enough for another play. But
like even on this bet, I could have pulled out something crazy. I didn't though.
Yeah, for what? Unless you got another play
perspective is crazy to each person. But I could have put out more than what I did.
Yeah, but I feel like if you don't have a destination for that money, what's the point?
Exactly.
Because like, what are you going to do? You're going to, unless you're
paying on that money anyway.
Yeah, you're paying on the money, and at the end of the day, like, what are you going to do with it, right? Because it's going to lose value if it ain't into something. I'm not going to put it back into the bank. I don't keep too much money in the bank myself because you're not going to gain what the appreciation of a property is going to give you over that time.
Exactly. So that's good. So I really enjoyed it. This is really good. I learned a couple things. I feel like this was good, especially for someone that is trying to go ahead and get started in some type of career, maybe not directly real estate acquisitions, but the realm of it. So now they can go ahead then eventually transition to real estate acquisitions and things like that. So my one question I always ask people, what is one thing outside of money, outside of business that you do that's just your fun? Like hey, I like to go to Sixers games. Yo, this is one thing about this guy, man. This guy is dope. I already liked you. I already messed with you. I'm like, yo, this dude cool. I mess with him. I rock with him. We had a meeting. We just met up and got some lunch, right? We didn't even eat. We just got a water or something. I know the waiter probably was mad. We still tipped her good. So, but we were talking. We was about to leave. Listen to this. We about to leave. Yeah. And I forgot. I don't know how the Sixers came up.
You asked me the same question.
What
you like to do for fun outside of?
Oh, he said Sixers.
I'll go outside of sporting events like Sixers.
I'm like me. I get on StubHub every day of the week. A couple days out of the week, I get on StubHub. You know, you just like it take 5 minutes. Let me just see what's going on. Let me see tickets. Oh, tickets 2,000-3,000. Nah, I might pass on that. Oh, tickets 1,000. Oh, let me just grab these. So I'm on it. Yo, we saw these tickets. What was it, like $400 each?
Yeah, it
was like $300 each or something.
But
like
I tell you, I was like, if I go to the game, I don't sit up. Like I gotta sit.
Yeah, and I'm like, we on the same page.
Yeah, if I go, I gotta make it like worth it to go down there.
Yeah, so I said the same thing. So I look at the tickets. I'm like. They like $300 each. It's like $600. The game starts in 2 hours. He said, "Let's go." He's talking about the cash app. I'm like, this dude is. I like him. So we got the tickets, went to the game, and then it transitioned to more. And then I think I actually like, let's get on the pod. One thing, and this is what I always tell people: when you want to build relationships with people, don't look at just like, all right, we got to talk about like money. Focus on just letting things flow and build. I done business with this guy, and then we made a lot of money. And you know how we built? Went to the strip club.
Strip club.
I went down random as hell, but I went down Orlando. I went down Orlando on a family trip. My son to Disney World and stuff like that. And then I already knew of him and stuff like that. We didn't know each other, but I already knew of him, Instagram. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh, he like, yo, you in Orlando? I'm like, yo, let's just link up for like 10 minutes real quick. I'm around, X, Y, and Z. We linked up for like 10 minutes. We was vibing, and then I had brought my family down. I just brought my entire family down to Orlando too. So I was like, my mom, you just watching for a little bit. I'm gonna hang out with this guy I met. We went down to Orlando. He said, man, you want to go to the strip club? We went to the strip club, just talking and vibing. I was like, man, you cool? Like, and he was like, no, you really dope. And especially because online, everybody think like I'm the most serious person in the world. He's like, no, you actually cool. And then we was exchanging game too while we having fun. Next thing you know, we put together this little play and it worked out.
Yeah, because the connection and it was genuine. It wasn't forced. It wasn't just about money.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So y'all, I'm not telling you guys go hang out with somebody at the strip club, but I'm saying like maybe y'all go to the gym together. Yep. Maybe y'all just go get some lunch together. Maybe we just go, bowling. Like just get the chemistry going.
Yeah, like that's the one thing I'm gonna say too is like don't be too cool to talk to people.
Yeah,
like you're being because some people are though. Mm-hmm. But like you see someone in a coffee shop or you keep seeing somebody at the basketball court. Mm-hmm. Oh, what do you do?
Yeah.
And even if it isn't like directly to make money, maybe you might be able to help them out somewhere with what they're doing, and it can help you out somewhere where you're doing too.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. So, but going to the sport events and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's all I really do, bro. I chill with my niece and nephew. Like I'll take them to Dave and Buster's or
that's dope.
I go to the gym. I just like to work, bro. That's just like my shit. Like I like brainstorming. I like thinking about the next move. Like that's what I like to do.
This I got two questions. What kind of just keep things keep popping in. Do you think during those couple years have you feeling like I lost too much time? I have to like try to make that back up.
I felt like that when I first came home, but now I just feel like that's just who I am.
Okay.
Like I was urgent because like especially I came home in my 30s, early 30s, like 31.
How old are you now?
I'm 30. I'm about to be 37 this month.
Word.
So I came.
Oh, this month?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, we'll talk about this.
Yeah. So I come home and I'm 31 now. Mind you, I was away for like 6 years basically. Mm-hmm. My friends got businesses, they got families, they got careers. Some of them died, some of them still hooked on drugs or whatever. So like everyone's life is different from when I left, and I'm looking at the successful people because I want to be successful when I come home. And I'm like, it's taken me long to get, like I surpassed a lot of people, but I'm looking at people my first 6 months home or a year home, like they don't work as hard as me. They don't sacrifice as much as me. How are they ahead of me? And sometimes it just takes time. Some things just take time.
Some things take time.
You can't skip chapters. Like you cannot, someone's year 3 is not going to look like your year 1. That's just the way it is. But overall, like, my year 10 is going to look crazier compared to someone else's year 10.
I heard this Kirk Franklin say this on this post that he said, and he basically said like, don't compare your time frame to working on something compared to someone else's and thinking you're bad. He said when someone microwaves food versus your grandma cooking it starting last night or early in the morning all the way for dinner, that food tastes way different from the microwave food. So even though it's taking longer to get to the destination, your destination may be way better than theirs because you went through and took a whole lot longer. They might be some microwave success. You are real success. So that always, when I heard him say that like a year ago, it's been sitting in my head since, because sometimes, like even for me, I might be on something that's like, yo, Frank did this, took a month. Why the hell is it taking me 3 months to try to figure this out? But then when the 3 months hit, you know, not to compare to you, but just anybody, it's like, oh, this really hit. So like, for example, you might see somebody making $100 a day or $500 a day, $500 a day in their business. You like, man, I'm still making 100. Like, what the heck is going on? But then in a week, last day on Sunday, you hit for 5,000. You like, okay, it was all a part of the plan. Like at the end of the week, look at the end result. As long as the end result really hits home, don't worry about the little things.
And when is the end result too, though? Because like you might be making $100 a week and they're making $500 a week or whatever it is. But over time, you might be making $15,000. They're still making that $500.
Because you're building.
Yeah, it's a long term game. Yeah. As long as you're getting better day after day, and don't try to compare yourself to people. Because I did that when I came home. I'm like, this dude smokes weed. He going to the bar. How is he in a better position? But I'm like, I'm taking away from myself and my plan, thinking about what they're doing and worry about them. I just got to put my shit back over here. All right, what can I do better? What do I got to do?
Exactly. Last thing, I promise. What's the next thing for either Frank or for Enhanced Property Solutions?
For me,
it's a good combo.
No, for me, I definitely want to do more sharing my story, like getting on podcasts like this. I do want to get a book out there eventually, and
that'd be hot.
Doing some speaking engagements too. That's for me personally. For Enhanced Property, it's just keep building the company, make it more legitimate as far as healthcare, as far as opportunity growth. I got people in sales right now. I got people on managers right now. So it's to continue to build this, to give the other people room to grow and grow here. I don't, I want to retain the people I have, and I want to make it a good environment for them, but also grow into different states too, like South Jersey office, Bucks County office. Like I do want to get different locations. Yep.
That'd be dope. I can hear it.
And Streets of Success podcast.
Yeah.
Which is going to play with, the personal brand and everything.
That's dope. I can see it now in Enhanced Life Solutions, the book. Enhanced Life Story, something like that.
5.5 to $1 million.
Woo! I like that. So how can people tap into you? How can people tap into the podcast? How people can, get services, painting, whatever?
Yeah. So if you're in the Philadelphia surrounding areas, you're looking for any painting work, renovation work, it's Enhanced Property Appearance, all platforms on Google, hundreds of reviews on Google, Facebook, portfolios up there of what we can do. Podcast, Streets to Success podcast. That's on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. Streets to Success. Some amazing stories on there. If you got an amazing story, reach out. We can get you on. And then my personal page is Quite Frankly on Instagram, Quite Frankly on TikTok, and then Frank Benton on everywhere else.
There we go. So
LinkedIn and stuff.
Make sure you guys tap in. Make sure you follow. Make sure if you are in the tri-state or anywhere that you guys can get to, make sure, give his company a call. That way you guys can tap in. Make sure you tap into the podcast. Actually, just while you already on YouTube watching this, just go ahead and click over and just go watch the next episode on his page. Make sure you guys tap in. And thank you again, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks
for
the opportunity, bro. Man.
Yeah, for sure.
Good conversation.
For sure, bro.